Hello everybody, and in this video I am going to talk a little bit about overeating as a coping mechanism. There can be several other reasons for overeating, but I'm not going to address those in this video. Here we're going to talk about the psychological stuff and the coping mechanism. We're not going to talk about the physical stuff or the conditioning. Well, some of it is conditioning too, but yeah, we will get to that. What we're going to talk about here is the programming. So we all have a programming that affects how we look on life, how we look at ourselves, and the part that we have to play in this world, and who we are and who we are supposed to be. And that programming is something that is created early in our lives, usually by us coming to some kind of conclusion about who we are and how the world is designed and all of that. And that will, of course, affect how we look at everything. And that programming is going to decide and rule everything in your life. So it's going to decide how you are going to react to different situations, how you're going to react to different people, how you're going to respond when you face adversity, and all of that. So your programming can be in a place where it creates good stuff for you, but it can also be in a place where it sabotages you and stops you from getting what you want. So if you are in that place, usually the programming is causing you pain and it's causing you to do stuff you maybe don't want to do in that specific way. It can also, if you're struggling with overeating, cause urges simply because of the pain and of the way we treat ourselves. So I'm going to show you a little something here. This is something that I call the Dominoes. So let's see if we can keep it still here so you can see what's going on. I even put up some little domino pieces here. I'm sure you have all seen them or played with them as a child. So what we're talking about here is that people usually experience that stuff can happen in their lives. That's what I call the events. And events, stuff that will happen. It's not like stuff is never going to happen, and it's not like you can only be in a place where you're not overeating if nothing happens in your life. That's not going to be sustainable over time. So stuff will happen. When stuff happens, we will think something about what happened. We will maybe think that we should have done better, and maybe it's not good enough. Maybe we should have been there more for the other person. Maybe we should have done things differently in some kind of way. Maybe we believe that the person doesn't like us or something like that. When that happens, we usually feel sad or angry or frustrated or maybe not good enough or whatever feelings show up for you. And those feelings are not comfortable. They're going to cause you pain. And when that happens, we are not masochists. So usually what people want here is to get away from the pain because I don't want to be in this pain. And that's where the eating comes in. So we end up with an action here. We end up doing something to get rid of this pain. And then when you overeat, then the pain gets like subdued for a short period of time. But usually it comes back with the interest afterwards because we end up beating ourselves up because of the fact that we weren't able to stop ourselves from eating. So most people, they try to change their overeating from this point here. They try to control everything with their willpower. They try to stop themselves from eating and of course, use a lot of willpower to not do that. But the thing is, willpower can't be at work all the time. We know that. So that means, yes, it can work for a shorter period of time until you run out of willpower. And it's usually very painful to change it from this perspective, because when you do that, then you will have to deal with all these negative thoughts and emotions that have come before this action. So to get to a place where you don't have to suffer all of this and where you can get a sustainable solution to not overeating, you have to do something else. The event you can't do something about, we talked about that before. The thoughts, those you can do something about. That is your programming. And here we have two kinds of thoughts. We have the conscious ones that are up here, and then we have the subconscious ones that are down here. And the conscious ones, those are not the ones causing the problem. The unconscious ones, the programming, those are the ones we need to address and do something about. Your feelings, you can't stop yourself from feeling what you're actually feeling. So you can't really do something about that. That's not going to be sustainable either. But the thing is, when you change the thought, then the feelings change. And when the feelings change, then you will not be in pain anymore. And that will, of course, lead to a different action than some kind of emotional painkiller from what we are doing over here. So the thing is, when we change this, the whole row of dominoes is going to change. So that is a very important thing to look at when you want to make permanent change and you want to really change things for the better with your eating. It's like when we do this, we change perspective. And when we change perspective, that is something that can give you an instant effect, an instant result. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you have been going to school every day for all of your childhood, and you learned at school that 2 + 2 = 5. And you believed that, and you were completely sure that 2 + 2 = 5 all the way through your childhood. But then, then suddenly one day you sat down and you played with some matches or some sticks or something like that, and you realized, well, 2 + 2 does not equal 5, 2 + 2 = 4. When you have seen this truth, nobody is going to be able to tell you that 2 + 2 = 5 after that, because you will know that this is not true. And that is going to be a game changer, because you're not going to believe the lie anymore. So the change here is instant, and that is also what happens when we are turning the thoughts around. So that is something that is going to be really important for a lot of people that are using the food as an emotional painkiller. And that is like one of the big things that needs to be fixed to get to a place where you don't need to overeat anymore. We need to change that programming. So yeah, the thing is, when you change that, you don't feel the need to eat it anymore. And that is pure magic. And that's what you deserve. So yeah, this was what I wanted to say about this today. So if you want to know more about all of this, you can subscribe to my channel, and then we will see each other again soon. Okay, bye.